So welcome to the next video. So today we will be starting on pointers. Okay. So before that we will just revise how a variable is stored in memory and what is an address. So let's say I am declaring an integer I and I am assigning the value I equal to 6. Okay. So in the last video we have seen, one of the last videos we have seen that if you want to know where this variable is actually stored in our memory, we can use, we can find its address. Okay. So one way of getting the address is, you should give %d and you give an ampersand sign and then give the variable. Okay. So when you run the code, it will give you a number. So that number is address. Now again, if you want to recap that, just quickly we will do a revision. So all the variables that you do in whatever you create in your program is stored in RAM. Okay. So RAM has places to store these variables. Okay. So a lot of locations are there in RAM to store variables. Each location can store a 1 or 0. So these locations are collected together to form what is known as a word. Okay, so this is word 1. So let's say this is word 2. So how many of these are collected together, that depends upon the architecture of your computer. Sometimes it may be 8 bits. So one of this space is what is known as bit. So it may be 8 bit, it may be 16 bit, it may be 4 bit. It depends upon your architecture. Okay, and each of these locations are given an address. So starting from 0, 1, 2, 3. So addresses will help your computer to get data from RAM. So your processor will tell, okay, get the data from address 1. So your computer will come here, go to address 1 and get whatever data is there. Okay, so this is what is known as address. And this address is what we are getting using an ampersand sign in a variable. So all this data, so these words are arranged like this. So it is a standard way of representing. Okay, so this is what is known as stack. And we have addresses here. Right? Fine. So variable I, it is an integer. That means it naturally, normally it takes 4 bytes of space. So it will take 4 bytes, 4 spaces together, and inside that it will store the value of I. What is the value of I here? Given our code, 6. We will store 6. Okay. And the address will be given by the first location, the location of the first word. Okay, there will be 4 words for integer, but address will give you the location of first word. So now the right identifier to get the address is %p. Okay. Now what does this print? So let's just run this, close this window, and run this. So it is giving you a number, some weird number. So this number is what is known as an hexadecimal number. Okay. So again, it is a different number system. For example, our decimal system has 0 to 9. Okay, we use 0 to 9 to identify numbers. Big numbers, small numbers, all consists of 0 to 9. Hexadecimal uses 0 to 9 and 8 to F. So for example, 0 will be 0 in hexadecimal, 1 will be 1, then up to 9 will be 9, then 10 will be represented by A. Okay, so on. 11 will be B, 15 will be F. So this is basically the same thing, it is represented in some other format. Okay, and hexadecimal is what normally computer science people use to denote the address of a variable, right? So in Excel we have a function. So let's say if I type 1, 2, all the decimal numbers if I type, so let's say up to maybe 25 I am typing, I can convert this to hexadecimal system. So there is a function here. If I put equal to and decimal 2, so function will come here, decimal to binary, decimal to hex, then decimal to octadecimal. Okay, so all these 3 systems we will be using hexadecimal. Take this. right? So 1 is 1, so we have 0 also. 0 is 0. So once you just copy this down, drag this down, the entire formula will be copied. So for example, if I click here, this is actually giving hex of 3. If I click here, it is actually giving hex of 10. So if you see, 0 is represented by 0, 10 is represented by A, 15 by F, 16 by 10. So it goes on. So all these numbers as a corresponding hexadecimal value. Okay. So this is a hexadecimal value. If you want the integer value, I will write %d also. Ampersand I. So basically, I in hexadecimal it is giving, I in decimal it is giving. Okay. So just run this again. Okay. So 6684188 is the decimal, and this is the hexadecimal. We will just check this 6684188. So I have already copied this. I'll copy this formula here. So I am just finding the hexadecimal. It is 65FE1C. So if you go back here and see your output, it is same. Correct? 65FE1C. Okay, so that is about the right way of representing an address. Okay. So again, these numbers basically what it represents is basically what location of the stack. What location of the stack the variable is stored. Now, if you want to store this address to some other variable, we want to create a special type of variable called pointers. Okay, what is called pointers. So pointers is nothing but a variable which just store the addresses. It will just store the addresses of the any corresponding. So if you want to store an integer's address, so I is the address, you want to store the address of I in some place, then you will use pointer. So how do you define a pointer? It is simple. You just have to use int, then you have to put a star, then you give the pointer number. So let's say I give address of I. Okay. So it is defined. Now I have to assign this the pointer value. So what I will do is address of I equal to, now we know how to find the memory location. We have to use ampersand sign and I. Right. So basically what happens is a new variable or a new pointer is created. That pointer will store the location of I. In memory, where this I is located, it will be storing that value. Right. Now let's say we will try to print address of I here. So I'll remove this and type address of I. So I should get the same output. Maybe I'll give one more line so that we can compare. So let's say I'll just copy paste, and instead of ampersand I, I'll use address of I. I'll just run this. Same output. Okay. So remember, pointer is nothing but a type of variable which can store address of any other variable. Now here it is integers, that's why you have to declare int star address of I. Now let's say if I have a double D. If I want to store the address of this B, what I have to use is I have to create a double pointer. Double, then star, then give any variable number. I will give address of B. Then you just assign address of B equal to the memory location. To get the memory location, always use ampersand. Okay. Same thing you can use for character. So let's say character C. If you want to store address of character in some variable, you have to define the pointer as character. Then I will take address of C. Then I have to assign address of C equal to ampersand C. Okay, so I hope this is clear. So there is a variable. Variables are stored in spaces. All those spaces are marked by address. These addresses can be stored into a separate variable which is also known as pointer. Okay. So to declare a pointer, you have to use the star. After that, you have to assign it using the ampersand. So by this we will stop here. We will continue our next video also about pointers. Okay. So thank you.